Hello and welcome to Silverstone. We are very much on the back end of practice session. We'll be immediately going into the qualifying. We are here at Silverstone. As you can see, Husky Sports RP is bringing you this coverage of the Racing Pals RP Series Round 3 at Silverstone. Last time out was Spa-Francorchamps. At the circuit, Spa-Francorchamps, as I like to call it. It's going to be a very, very close one to call, I feel. We'll be very much looking for driving. We'll very much be looking... Of course we'll be looking for driving. It's a driving game. What am I on about? We'll be looking for action. We'll be looking for, hopefully not crashes. However, they could happen. But we will be looking for close, tight racing between all of our drivers. They typically do a very, very good job of the close, tight racing. And today, I don't think will be any different whatsoever. So, the last time out, we were at the circuit Spa-Francorchamps. The circuit Spa-Francorchamps, Platinum was very tight. At Spa, Simon Beeg coming through to take the win with Zanny Zenon in second place. And third went to Sench or Kyle Cook. Down in silver is a good story as well. Toby Long came through to take the win there, followed by Sheba, Frederick Schoblem, and then in third was Gary Rowe, Toby Long's teammate. In bronze, it was a interesting story. Robert Delisle came through to take first place with Gottlieb in second, and third place went to Till Mueller. That means that bronze is tied between Gott and Delisle at 29 points, with Mueller in third place at 17. Other standings as well, you know, they're quite close. GT4 very close between them as well. 9 points between first and second. First currently held by Lee Taylor, second by Graham Lockie, 29 and 20 points respectively. So, we are now in the qualifying session. RP Series Quali, if you are new to the RP Series, the GT4s get the first 15 minutes, with the GT3s getting the final 15 minutes. We're with Lee Taylor currently leading the GT4 Championship. So we see a decent pack, actually, of GT4s, M4, 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 and a McLaren. Currently with Langvin. Let's actually jump on board with... Should we jump on board with Langvin, or should we jump on board with the other? Let's jump on board with Anxman, as up the inside there tries Reigns. That was a very, very late move, but Reigns, I think, has made it stuck. We are on board with the BMW. So as we as we come through the final corner. Here is a lap of Silverstone. We are heading into turn 1 through the corner there. Hit the inside curve. Run the outside curve as much as you can. Then through Maggots, through Beckett's. As then you're on to the hanger straight through the chapel curve, onto the hanger straight. Down we go. So you've got a long time to think about what's coming up down the hanger straight. Hard on the brakes as you head through Stone, a mountain section, as it is called by the people in Racing Pals. Anti-Secman bot is here, yep. And then we go through Vale and the Club chicane, through Club, onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. Now you also get a longer time. This is where, of course, if you watch the Formula 1, this is where they start their race through Abbey at turn 1 for the F1 straight, but actually it's almost towards the end of the lap here. Through the farm curve. Now, down hard on the brakes as you head to Village. Down on the brakes, around you go. Avoid that sausage curve a bit. Aaron did it. Hanksman didn't. Then through the loop. Oh, it's very slow. It can be very deceptive. You can go inside, outside, late, early. Then you go through Aintree onto the Wellington straight. And then you look to the right there. You can see the Brooklands Hotel. Very good. I'm on the front side this time round. As we head through Brooklands, the track goes away from you, then comes back. Then through Luffield. And then the final corner at Woodcote for the end of the lap. And that is a lap at Silverstone. As Gons has just noticed the Husky Sport RP. Make sure that if you are a Husky Blue Glass customer, if you press the big blue button, you can get up-to-date statistics of the race, and that is only available for Husky Premium Blue customers. Oh man, right, let's look around. Lee Taylor currently on pole position provisional, a 211.297. We're looking up and down. Here is Deep Cuts. As you can see on the front of the car, he is running the presidential seal on the Mercedes, a nod to Ivan Barats, one of our regulars at Racing Pals, who is having a bit of a hard time at the moment. The badge is being run in honor of him for this race, and we all will all look very forward to Ivan Barats coming back to race with us. He was a mainstay in the GT4s in both the series and the endurance, and hopefully when he does return to Racing Pals, he will be straight back in the car and straight back at the power that he used to have in these machines, to be back fighting up the front of GT3 or GT4. The spacey racy AMG GT4 running the seal of the presidential machine as Deep Cuts goes to abort his lap. For the time, he's currently running in P4 in class. 2.4 seconds just under off of pole. Langvin 200ths off of Reigns. As you can see, he is coming through the final corner at Woodcote. The slightly offensively blue car across the line. He does go into P2, but then Reigns immediately takes it back off of him. Wow, that was trade and trade. Over and over again, we have multiple trades. Here comes Luana Santos for Moonsquid Racing, coming across the line, jumps into P7 ahead of James Andrew. Ketton up ahead in the green Mark Racing Audi R8 GT4 car, currently in 11th. He is finding time It's just that case of finding a time, as it is very, very easy to invalidate your lap at turn 1. Alpine nerf when? Alpine nerf at some point in the future. Also, someone can tell me, please, if A, you can hear my game sound, and if B, you can hear my music, because if you can, that's a problem and they fix it. Good. I'm currently listening to Pumped Up Kicks. Great song. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that one. Yeah, that one is good. I like it. It's a good song. Yeah. What music should I put on? I'm not sure. Let's put this on. There you go. Beautiful. People can't hear my music. It's great. As we see Lee Taylor coming across the line once again. What is the time going to be across the line? Is it an improvement? It is. By the tiniest of margins. Wow. You can see why this guy is at the top of the GT4 Championship at the minute. I know this is only race 3, but you are very much... oh yeah, hang it. Shh. No one sees, no one sues. You got it? But no, as I was saying, you can see why Lee Taylor is up the front of the GT4 Championship, especially a lap time like that. Aaron Rains comes through the line. It's not an improvement. He's just over a second off of Lee Taylor's time. Oh. This is going to be a very, very, very tight race. Here is Hoove on the groove. In a move, it is Hoove. As Ralph Ketton heads across the line, a 2:15.477 behind as well was Deep Cuts. Santos comes through a 2:19.995. Best time to beat for her is a 2:14.090. And Brad Hoover came across the line a 2:15.022. That puts him up into P9. Wow. Now Ralph Ketton, you can see there's a little bit of a pack around the place. However, they have actually straightened out a bit as Lee Taylor 2:11.020. That puts him 1.3 seconds clear of Aaron Rains. That is a very, very good qualifying time for him. So we see James Andrews currently P9, finishing up his lap and heading back into the pit lane. Jeffrey Langvin across the line. It's not an improvement at 2:12.6. He's 1.4 off of pole, 1/10 off of Rains up ahead just about. But at the minute it is a full washout. Best sector 1, 2 and 3. And provisional pole for Lee Taylor, the only driver in the 2:11s. As Deep Cuts comes across the line, a 2:39. Currently running P5. 5 attempts to grab Mark Hanksman up ahead. Morton Hanksman, I think, actually. Right, let's look at the chat. Come on, guys. Let's go, Flumpmobile. You can do it. Oh, Barra. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. If we actually jump on board there, we can see the presidential seal on the front of the Spacey Racy Mercedes AMG. The presidential seal is being run on the Spacey Racy car. Hopefully when you do come back to us, you'll be back with us fighting at the front of the GT4s as you do in the endurance races. As I have just accidentally opened a DM that I didn't need to open. Whoops. Car 69 noise, yes. Indeed. Oh, there's Santos maybe getting a bit of strife there with Ketten. Up at one of the chicanes, the F1 first chicane, I believe that was. Yep, it was at Village. As I'm smart, across the line comes Nathan Foltz-Rushlau. 218.915, still behind. Oh! That was very, very close. And as we come for the final little bit of qualifying. Whoops, there we go. That's what I needed. Coming to the final bit of qualifying. The drivers in GT4 will have a lap or two left, depending on where they are on track. Remember, the GT3s will be released at the 15-minute mark to go. They're probably actually lining up in the pit lane. Yes, they are indeed. You can see them lining up there at the front of the pit lane. Here's Kyle Cook. He's making his way down. There is a driver who, of course, we see him on the track. It is, of course, the Mr. Ed Costetta, the driver that I know some people classify as an unfair advantage. He is back off of the win at the Silverstone. 4 hours in the RP Endurance Series. Well, one-off races in the 949 sim racing Ferrari 4AA, and the time has come across. GT4 quali has ended, and there is your GT4 provisional standings. Lee Taylor rounding up to take pole at 211.020, followed by Hatcher in P2, Heim in P3, Reigns in P4, P5 is Langvin, 6th is Deep Cut, 7th is Aikman, 8th is Santos, 9th is Rubicon, 10th is Andrews, 11th is Hoove, 12th is Ketten, and 13th is Foltz-Rushlau. But it's now time for GT3 to come out and play. We get a tag in the RP channel. I'm not sure what that is for, but we are now with the GT3s. We'll jump on board with Ed Costetta for a lap or two. One of the drivers who is very much classified as an alien in the Racing Pals community. Entering as a guest driver today. And he'll have 12 minutes to make his best lap. And across the curbs there, heading up, there is a Gottlieb just off the track there. So, come on, guys. Let's hear it. What are the... what's the word? What are the expectations for today's race? What do you guys think? Who's going to come where? I think that this man here, Ed Costello, has a very, very good chance. We've seen his pace at Silverstone before in the streams. He did a last to first in the 4-hour. We'll see as Battenberg sets the first lap of the session. A 2:07. Cook going into pole. Mo, P2 and Jack in P3. Shopper immediately steals that P3. Here is an interesting story. Thomas Jack in the TWR Jaguar car, which for some reason hasn't loaded delivery that I was given for today. Hey, go on, Reigns. Win it. Win it. I believe in you. I believe in you. So we see Thomas Jack in the GT3 Jaguar, a car that you very rarely see in into what was I saying? Yes, a car you do not see at all very often. Emil Frey being the drivers that were given, the team that were given it. Sorry, I've also just noticed if we jump onto the driver, the interior view. Yep, the race logic has literally just been cable tied into the air vents. That is brilliant. Oh man, and as we were talking, Ed Costello has come through to take pole position, a 1:59.040. We have seen faster in practice. Toby Long running in P2 at the minute as well, a 59.93. And we will definitely be seeing... Yes, I hear that what Tom is doing is he is running a different car at every race he can come to. I think at Bathurst he's planning to run the V12 Aston Martin at Bathurst, and I believe he's going to run the REX at one of the races this season as well, with 8 minutes left of the session. Toby Long comes through 1:59.965, very close to his best time. Daniel Fox coming through into P3 there. Ian Arnold 21st at 2:08.570. Daniel Fox as well earlier on, a 1:59.872, a 35.277. Daniel Fox literally in the practice was having trouble hitting the under 2 minutes, and then immediately he's come through into the 59s. Will Saunders jumps up into P2, a 1:59.410, still 4/10 off of Ed Costello's time. As I think Will Saunders there has just aborted his lap. Let's find someone here. Is Jan Tenner for All In Racing, the number 10 car, number 10 car. Down on the brakes, we've got Toby Long there behind him in the Sportify Racing. Not McLaren, Aston Martin. And down on the gears there, you can see the Sportify Aston Martin bearing down on the rear end of the number 10 Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. A 41-degree track. That is hot. That is very, very hot. In fact. Here we see Robin Moe. He is chasing down that time. And while I was looking at my stats, Bingus McBungus in the Lamborghini has gone into pole position. A 1:58.7. Wow. What a lap time for him. Ed Costello very rarely has to chase down lap times, and it looks like it's going to be one of those moments where he will have to today. Ed Costello there, you can see he is chasing down the lap time. As I'm looking around, Bingus Bongus still in pole position. 3 tenths just under for Ed Costello to try and find. Going to be close, I feel, and it's going to be a close race as well. A qualifying like this always spells a good race. About 4.5 minutes left, so drivers might be coming in to just what's the word? Reset, get a new set of tires, new set of new full. If I put my teeth back in my skull, that would be very, very useful, wouldn't it? I'm very, very bad at English, I guess, as I am just grabbing the stream link because I forgot to put it in the chat. Ha! I beat you, Guns! Get memed! Get memed, Gons. Oh, as we see Kyle Cook go round. Oh, that's at Maggots and Beckett's. Wow. I wonder what happened there. Did he possibly hit that curb? We're going to have a look on the replay. He's come through. He's gone past that curb, and the car's just stepped out from underneath him. He's gone round the number 94 car. Shopper just getting behind in all of that. That will be Kyle Cook back to the pit lane for a little while longer. Badenberg, after his very good performance in the Honda at Spa. You didn't win. On mine, it's the other way around, guys. On mine, it's the other way around. Oh, man. It was 2 minutes left of the session. Currently, Bingus and Bongus has dropped down to second place. Ed Costello, a 1:58.425. It's only those two cars that are within the 58. So, Ed Costello having a faster Sector 2, the best Sector 2 of the session, but Bingus and Bongus having a fastest Sector 1 and Sector 3 as Battenberg heads across the line and goes into P9. And through a driver who I think himself we're thinking he needs to be higher up is Robin Moe. For Red Bull Motorsport. Ferrari things, yep. Robin Moe will get one more lap, so let's jump on board with the car. No, we'll jump on the driver camera. You can see the big screen there in the background. as Robin Moe will come across the line. He'll improve his lap time and he'll head up into third place at 1:59.067. He's now got 3 temps to drag down to muscle Bingus Bongus in P2, and then 6 temps to drag it down between himself and Ed Castetta. There's curb 1, curb 2. There is a spinner in front of him. Is he going to get caught up in it? Yes, he is! Right into the back of that wasn't Tenor, it was Kenny. James Kenny there between the two. We'll have a look. He's already spinning. He's come back, and Mo's just got him up the rear end, and that sent that Aston Martin round, and that will be the end of qualifying for both of the drivers. Trifonov as well has caused a yellow flag, but I'm not sure what for. If it was just aborting his lap, I think it might have been. Here is the man on a mission at the current minute in time. It is Ed Castetta. He is set to improve his lap time, as too is Bingus McBongus. Ed Castetta needs to improve his lap time. As looking at the delta I've got so far, if he doesn't improve his lap time, Bingus McBongus should actually take the lead and provisional pole position, as we get a little bit of lag as we switch over to his car. The session has come to a close. Battenberg has caused a yellow flag. Bingus McBongus will have to see how he'll come across the line in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. As on the curves across the line he comes. What is the lap time going to be? We get a bit of lag as he comes around the final corner and across the line. It's not enough of an improvement. A 1:58.692 for the American driver. We see Frederick Schoblem for race time / Oink Motorsport heading around the place as well. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a modification of my overlays. There we go. That's a lot better. And we will see qualifying come to a close. So your provisional pole sitter is Ed Castetta, a 1:58.425, followed by Bingus McBongus. Robin Moe in third, Saunders 4th, 5th was Shop, 6th was Long, 7th was Zenon, 8th was Fox, 9th was Battenberg, 10th was Oosthuizen, 11th was Forza, 12th was Gunkel, 13th was Cook, 14th was Aaron, 15th was Jack, 16th was Rose, 17th was Delisle, 18th was Tenor, 19th was Gottlieb, and 20th was Arnold. And then going down now in name order is Trifonov, Schoblem, Mueller, Kenny, Gerald, and Nicholas Van Gel rounds off the grid. We've got 39 cars in the server for today's race. That is a very, very good amount of cars. And then in GT4, to remind the people, Taylor took pole position in GT4 for 2:11.020, followed by Hatcher, Heem, Reigns, Langvin, Cuts, Andrews, Angstman, Santos, Rubicon, Hoover, and Ketten, and Fault Rochlau rounding off the grid. So here we go then. We are on for the start of the race. Keep in mind as well, there are 3 classes. The platinum with the white number plate, the silver with the silver number plate, and the bronze with the red number plate. You have to sort of remember that in all of the classes, they are involved in their own championship. So in reality, there are 4 championships going, 3 in GT3 and 1 in GT4. And if you look at the amount of number plates that are mixed in, you've got Chopper in the lead of bronze there in the 94 Audi. He's got 2 cars between himself and Fox, who's in P2. You've got Long as well right beside him, the 71 Sportify Esports car. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars between himself and Kai Swartzer behind him. And in Platinum, it's a 4-car bunch up there between Ed Castetta, Bingus McBongus, and Moe. And Saunders as well, actually, in the mix of that. So we've got a minute left until the start of the race. I'm not sure, lads. It's going to be close to call. Who do we think is going to come out on top? It's going to be very tight between Ed Costello and Biggest Longus, the number 28 in the 8 car. But Mo and Saunders as well are looking very racy in qualifying, so I'm sure they will have some involvement in the fight up the front. Ed Costello pushes us off for the formation lap. It is going to be very, very tight to call. So we go through the grid of drivers. We're actually just going to turn the timing tower off at the minute. So we're with Tino Gunkel, as you can see. Some cars merging with each other as we get ready. And you can see the cars are just disappearing away out of the side of the stream. But we are going to have a very, very interesting race, I believe. You can also see the track and air temp, 25 degrees, a 5 km/h wind. And it is going to be dry. It is 8:04 p.m. The race will end at 10 p.m. It's been a bit of a contentious subject. Is the track going to be completely dark? As we see Tom and Kyle having a bit of a explore of each other's car. And, down the straight, some weaving to get heat into the tyres. For a minute there, the Lexus and the M6, sorry, were in sync. And already someone's been off after missing 2 races. He is back. Jürgen Zooshazen, mainstay in the RP Series in the green and purple McLaren. He's come now to make his start in the series. For this season, running in the Pro class, he's currently in P10, I believe. But I'm not 100% sure, as the timing thing sometimes does break during the formation lap. As more bots are having fun in the chat. Oh, as you see a little bit of bouncy. A little bit of pingy. I'm not sure if that's my end or if that's their end. Not sure. I'll head back onto the broadcast. So, as the cars do come across the line, we will be seeing them form. Right, out of the final corner, I should say, we will be seeing them form into 2x2. And we'll be getting for start of the race as they head down the Brooklyn Straight. Ed Costello leading from Bingus Bongus, leading from Mo. It is going to be very, very tight between these 3 drivers. I don't know how to call it. And here we go, 2x2. You can see just there, all of the cars are disappearing. So, as we get ready, I get to do my favourite part of the stream. Everyone get ready to say it with me. As they round through the final corner of the formation lap. It is going to be a very tight fought race here at the Silverstone International Motorsport Circuit, situated in Northampton. And as they come up to the lines, not that one, it's going to be... We go green at Silverstone. And already the Lamborghini showing its getaway power round the outside at turn 1 on Ed Costetta. What a move. And now Mo and Saunders getting through as well. Ed Costetta dropped down to P4, and there is a car off in the background I just saw there. There's a few cars off. Thomas Jack's getting through as well. A BMW there. I think that's one of the Mark Racing cars. Rejoining in, it's not Delisle, it's one of the other ones. What a start. Everyone just exploded away. And Thomas Jack apparently in 20th, 19th, 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th. It'll figure it out at some point as we see cars just everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Carl Cook defending that inside line from the Jaguar of Thomas Jack. Thomas Jack running in 12th. It seems as or 2x2 up ahead. Who's going to come out on top of that? Jürgen Zuscheisen has. What a move there. And you can already see Carl Cook is looking to defend from the Jaguar behind. And he has just managed to defend from the Jaguar behind, who has gone deep. That was an insane first lap for now. But now up the inside maybe. It's Tenner. Is he going to get it? No, he's not. Thomas Jack will defend the inside through the second part of the corner, and he will hold on to 12th position already, and up ahead as well. Robin Moe's right on the back end of Bingus McBongus. And now will Gottlieb get down the inside of Gary Rowe here at Brooklands? Yes, he will, but can Toby Long poke it up the inside at Lovefield? No, he can't. That was a very, very good move for the Lexus driver there as the lap times are starting to come in. Robin Moe setting the best lap so far, 207.842 off of the start, but I'm sure that might be taken off of him as we go down. And further back, there's some GT4 action happening, and a little bit further up as well, there is some more action happening as both Gerald and Nicolas Andelwu go off the circuit at turn 1. And Ed Costetta now, he's looking on Toby Long. He's dropped down to 5th. Ed Costetta being one of those drivers who doesn't make late moves very often. And, it shows because he just sits behind, he finds the opening, and then he takes it with both hands. And as you can see, the Sportify Esports car currently running in the lead. As we get the timing tower back on, the drivers have to make one pit stop during the race. As well, keep in mind. Gonna drop back Tino Gunkel trying to find his way past Aaron. And Gottlieb's there in the background as well, trying to find his way past the BMW and the McLaren. In fact. As, to the inside goes Gottlieb at Brooklands. Is he going to make that move stick, though? He did that move earlier, but this time I think Gunkel's going to get the inside. Here is GT4 Langvin in the mid-pack. That P3 in GT4 actually. Just going to check the chat. Not really much happening as Ed Costetta is looking to defend from Chopper behind as well. Oh, it's going to be close. He's chasing down the rear end of Toby Long. But he's got Chopper chasing the rear end of him as well. Wow. And Jürgen Zusehazen is trying to chase down the rear of Thomas Jack. Oh, almost getting into strife there with Tenner, who tried to stick one right up the inside there at Aintree, and it didn't quite work the way that I think he was expecting it to. But now Audi, unfair in a straight line, as Mr. Thomas Jack says. This time, though, Tenner thinks better of it than trying to poke one down the inside. The car looks like it's washing out wide just a little bit, and that's going to allow Aaron to try up the inside at Brooklands, but not quite hold it, as he'll be pushed around the outside at Lovefield. Oh, contact there between Aaron and Gott. I think that was Gottlieb. Oh, Aaron's off into the barrier. That might be an early pit stop there for the number 44 car, as Jürgen Zusehazen takes the curb very much at turn 1. Jen Tenner takes the curb at the outside. Marcel Chopper is still trying to find his way round Ed Costetta, but he's got Danny Zenon in the background as well, trying to find his way round. And now down towards Stowe. Chopper will defend the inside line. We've seen the outside work sometimes, but it's more about setting the car up for the next corner or cutting back into the club chicane. As they go, Chopper will hold on to that 6th place for now. Here is your current race leader, Bingus McBongus, in the McBongus Speedworks golf-inspired livery with all companies from his home state. He's got Robin Modo right up his bumper. So Robin Modo apparently has been struggling a little bit with the car. We will see the return of that curb today, I am sure. But right now, Bingus McBongus holds the race lead, but Robin Moe holds on to the fastest lap of the session, which doesn't actually give you anything, as, oh, Daniel Fox hits the sausage. Kai Sforza will now be opened up to the inside line through Aintree. It's now going to be a drag race. Porsche versus McLaren. Fox would have got the better run out of Aintree. And maybe a move down the inside is on for Kai Sforza. No, it's not at this point. Daniel Fox making sure that door is well and firmly shut. As you can also see Kyle Cook there in the background as well, trying to profit off of this battle as much as possible. And you can also see the Jaguar there just in the background as well, which is very interesting to see a Jaguar. In fact, it's a car that I've personally never seen in an ACC race that isn't just a for fun race. There's a little bit further back, Robert Delisle right under attack there from Ian Arnold into Maggots and Beckett. They will go too wide. No, Ian Arnold has already made that move stick. And that will be Delisle down into 4th place of bronze class, and it will also be Delisle down into 17th overall. We've got a yellow flag. It's for Aaron again. What has happened to Aaron this time? He's gotten involved in some more strife as he's gone through. Is it that curb? It is indeed. That curb has taken another name. That curb has taken another name on the list of cars that curb has taken away. And this time it's Aaron once again getting into strife. This race. It's always that curb. Ed Costetta still in P5. He was looking to pry the door open there. I think he thought that it was just a bit too far back on Toby Long to make that move stick. Toby Long really doesn't need to defend that hard. He's clear in the lead of Silver Class. You know, he's got four cars between himself and and the driver in second place. So he's got a nice, decent amount of time that he can live with, really, as we're now down in GT4. We see Reigns under pressure from Falls Rochlau. And Reigns will be looking. He'll be looking to defend on the brakes. He won the GT4 class at the Silverstone 4 Hours a couple of months ago. And now he's sat now near the bottom of the grid in GT4 on no practice whatsoever, as he has been busy, as a yellow flag has occurred. It's Ian Arnold. What has happened? Is it another showing of that curb? 1, 2, it's that curb again. That curb 2, electric boogaloo. And he is straight back on the circuit now on the attack of Frederick Schoblam, and he gets that move done through Stowe. He's now going to have the outside line, but oh, Schoblam tries up the inside of Gary Rowe. They come together, the doors do bang, and Ian Arnold has to take avoiding action, and Schoblam is round. We're going to jump on board. He goes down the inside, he sees it open. The doors do bang. He then goes round. Does he just get collected? He loses it on the rear, taps the door of Gary Rowe, and he's gone round after all of that defensive work to grab back that position. And then the car just spun out from underneath him, as we see Jürgen Zuijsen trying down the inside at Brooklands. He doesn't quite make it stick. He'll have to go the long way round of Gottlieb, and he doesn't quite make that work for now, but he's right on the rear bumper of the Lexus. It is a cross-class battle, so it's not for any points. However, he'll want to get past as quick as possible, because you could just see there in the background some more cars in his class have just been escaping up the road a little bit from him. A bit further down, Rubicon has taken the position off of Falls Rochlau, who's immediately taken it back onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. The BMW chasing down the Porsche. Have to see, where is he going to make that move? That is the big question. It was on the brakes. Big old slide there from the BMW, as Gary Rowe has taken into the pit lane for the Super Ernie Aston Martin Vantage V6. Oh, there's a Langvin. I was about to say, where's Langvin? It says he's right near Langvin on the thing, but there is Langvin. We're looking at Alexander Heim for Randall Racing on the back of Langvin in the BMW car, the 135 BMW car, as Taylor has just accelerated up the road. 9-second gap between himself and Langvin in this pack, really, in the battle for the GT4 lead. And a bit further up the grid, in fact the other end of the grid pretty much, is Robin Moe, still on the attack of Bingus McBongus. And we've not even been through the first 15 minutes yet, lads. As I have just hidden that user's messages on the channel, hopefully, so that should shut them up at this point. As we are still looking at the battle for the lead of GT3. Robin Moe is chasing down that Lamborghini of Bingus McBongus, absolutely barreling down on the rear end there. And he is looking, but that V12 power. I've tried everything. They keep coming back. Yeah, they do, don't they? It's a problem. It's a problem. Twitch bot protection is so much better. And now we look down the inside. Maybe no. Mo was looking, but that car, that Lamborghini has so much getaway power. It is insane, as we see Kai Sforza on the rear end of Daniel Fox. Look, Sforza not looking to take the inside line. There. A bit further back, Rene Battenberg on the back of Gunkel. Round the final corner. Sorry, not the final corner, around Stowe. I'm being a bit smart. I do apologise. He'll go to the outside for the club chicane. Gunkau will get the inside and be able to pie that corner out a lot better. A bit further up as well. Carl Cook has obtained himself a drive-through penalty, and he has had a spin. Is it that curb? No, it's not. It's F1 turn 1. The car's... Oh, he's just hit the grass, and that's just sent the car off, and it's gone completely from under him. Lock up the brakes. Those tyres are going to be square on the return to the pit lane. Those tyres are going to be very square. On the return to the pit lane, Till Mueller has gone deep at turn 1. We'll have a quick look at what has happened there. He's just gone deep at turn 1, and that's given him the fun moment indeed. And a bit further back, actually. Garrold, oh, very deep there through Brooklands. Carl Cook is in the pit lane, and Tenner is off. I think that's going to be another one for that curb. Here we go. Let's have a look. It is into Maggots and Beckett. Curb 1, curb 2. It's not. It's that curb's cousin. And it's taken another name. That curb's closely related sibling. Gonna test the button press. Hey! Cool. And test the button press again. Hey! That curb is innocent. In this one, he is indeed, yes. And someone who has been building his way up is Ed Costetta. I do just want to go back and have a look, though, at there's apparently a possible contact. We'll have a look as we head back. It's through Maggots and Beckett's. It's a GT3s on the GT4s. Oh, Mo's just gone. Wow. Mo just went from underneath the car. That is insane, as we see Oz Rochlau having himself a little bit of a... That's going very well. And Denny Zenon is now chasing back the rear of Toby Long. See, his car's already coming into the pit lane. Not sure as to why. I'm not sure what was happening there. Let's see if the problem has fixed, shall we? What's the little from inside? Oh, there you go. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it by going inside the car. Now, Luana Santos right on the rear end of Rubicon. Oh, the BMW gets the inside. Kai Sforza goes around the outside, in fact. Now, will Luana Santos try down the inside here at the chicane? No, the BMW very much defending that inside line, as Thomas Jack is also in the background. And Till Mueller just making his way through the GT4 pack. Indeed, he had a pit stop earlier on. I'm not sure if that was due to a collision or if that was due to a problem. They had, but Langvin there up the inside goes Bingus McBongus. Heim is still right on the rear end of that BMW. As we get note from Gary Rowe, if you're streaming, I've pitted because my frame rate was so shit. I couldn't make any of my turning points. I'm updating graphic cards to drive as well in game. No idea if this will break my session. Yeah, it seems a few people are having trouble with ACC graphics, as we see Shopper trying to defend from the Bentley and getting past the Mark Angsman Racing BMW M4 GT4 car. English is difficult. And a bit further up, actually, we've got Hatcher on the back of Heim. This is where the lapping of GT4 cars can affect their battle in an insane amount, in fact. As you can have a big effect as Mo has pitted in. We've got Carl Cook on the rear end of Schobler. And that Ferrari should make light work of the Porsche in a straight line. And we will be seeing, I think, Carl Cook go for the attack on Schobler a little bit later on this race. Might see it soon. He's looking racy, but he's now right down the field of the Platinum class. And now we see Toby Long. They're making their way past. He has got Xenon right on the back end, up the inside of Gottlieb. Not Gottlieb, sorry. Langvin. As Bungus makes past Taylor. That shows you how far away. We have... I mean, that just shows you, doesn't it, how far as... I mean... Sure. I think we have just witnessed a murder. We're going to run on the inside. You can see this is from the number 70 car. Just right. Okay, as we get another yellow flag as well. It's a two-car crash. We'll have a see here. It's Fox and Delisle. They're running through the GT4 towards Maggots and Baggets. Oh! Delisle's just gone up the rear end there. Wow. That is not what you wanted to see. Aaron, yellow flag. That's at turn 1. I think it was just him hitting the curb. It's not a that curve, so it doesn't deserve a replay, but that... Oh... Oh! Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. I bloody need one. We have witnessed an absolute ton of racing. We're just about coming up to the halfway mark. 6 minutes until we're at the halfway mark, and we have had an absolute insane amount of things. Also, Gons, can you tell me if my transitions are working when I clicky button? Or are they not working when I clicky button? I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it as we see... Oh, no. The GT4s are in danger. As down the inside drives Forza. Jack is round. Langvin collects him as well. And right in the background too. There is more contact. Wow. Andrews is round as well. We're going to get a replay of that. Andrews, Delisle's gone up the inside, has absolutely collected Andrews. And oh, bang there. There goes the Aston Martin. Andrews is going to be very, very miffed and very, very annoyed. And further back as well, we will have a see of the crash. You can see Kai Sforza in the back there. Goes to the very, very inside on Thomas Jack. Hits the rear end. Thomas Jack goes round. Langvin collects him and gives him the safety punt. And that was two things that had just happened at the exact same time. Wow, what an amount of stuff there has happened. Everything seemed to happen at once. And now the pit window will very much be open, and I'm sure there's some cars that will be coming in for an earlier pit stop. An earlier pit to stop. Because there is no pit window in RP Series. You just pit whenever Ian Arnold there, making sure he gets past Delisle, make sure he closes that door off through Stowe. Now he's got Fox to catch up to. There is I think that's a Spacey Racy car. That is indeed the Spacey Racy cars. Oh, side by side. That's always scary when they see it, but they both go through and survive. They survive for another lap. As what we need, because Bacon isn't here anymore. Social distancing, please. As we see Robin Moe down in 20th. He's taken a very early pit stop, getting back through the GT4s. Very textbook move there for him. We need multiple social distancings, actually. Can everyone social distance? As Mo will now be trying to claw his way up. He now, though, can go for the entire run as Ian Arnold gets a move up the inside of Brooklands there. And that was Delisle taking 15th off of him. I'm sorry, 15th position. So now Ian Arnold will be down in 16th, but I'm sure he won't want that for too long. As on the brakes, they come through the first corner. So we're all just posting emojis in the chat by the seams of it. That's great. So we're on board in the 47 ASM Mission R car. There is a car off. That is Daniel Fox. Is that another visitor of that curb? No, it's actually that curb's cousin. It's just washed the car back out and the car's just gone. Wow, yeah, that curb's cousin, also prolific. It must run in the family. Here's Gerald. Him and Nicholas Van Joe have had an absolutely nose-to-tail battle earlier throughout this race. Gerald will try and grab the amount of draft from the BMW, then grab the draft from the McLaren ahead of him. We'll have a look. Will he go inside at Stowe? Yes, he will. But there as well is Toby Long. So he couldn't actually go fully inside because Toby Long there, right at it. Down the inside at the club chicane. Oh! That was so close between the two cars. Toby Long definitely will be looking. There we go. Gerald goes deep onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight through club. That should be Toby Long moved up into 18th position. Yes, indeed it is. Through the first corner of the F1 layout. A good move there from Toby Long to pull himself up a position. However, we are now coming into the amount of stuff. What car emojis are there? As Tino Gunkel is up in 9th position. Some cars around him are actually starting to pit in. However, not quite yet, it seems. So we're going to get a poll in the chat. There we go. We're going to ask the community. Here is your poll. Is it racing or is it ping pong? You can all decide as the unofficial pit window has opened up. Ping pong currently has 100% of the votes, as we see Rubicon going very, very off track at Maggots and Beckett's to let through the GT3 cars and also his class leader Hatcher. Not Hatcher, sorry, Taylor, not Hatcher. That's Taylor who has pitted, and now he's actually getting through the field of GT4 cars as well. As both Oosthuizen and Deep Cuts stop go 30-second penalty. Clearly, they've turned their speed limiter off early. Naughty, naughty, naughty. So that's going to be a 30-second stop-go penalty for both drivers. And a, what is it? Is it a €10,000 fine, I think, in GT World Challenge for speeding in the pit lane? Ed Costello currently out in the lead of GT3. However, he has yet to pit. Bingus McBongus and Will Saunders have both pitted in. And they were his closest rivals in this fight so far. But we will definitely see how we go. But there's not long left of the unofficial pit window. The poll has ended. The poll goes 100% to ping pong. So the race, this is ping pong and not racing. There it seems. Just grabbing the chat back up. Carl Cook running a little bit further down now. We see James Andrews on the attack of Luana Santos. They'll go side by side on the run. There's Tenner as well. They'll get passed by the Brooklands turn, but it'll be very tight in as James Andrews gets down the inside of the Porsche driver as well. Very, very good move there from him. And just accelerate away, and hopefully that, I think he'll be saying hopefully that will help him start building the gap between themselves. That James Andrews is 6 points in the championship, so I don't think he's going to be in tension for the championship win, as we see Gary Rowe on the attack of Garald through Maggots and the Beckett's. Bingus Longus is in the background there as well, getting past Brad Hoovengroove on the move. He wants to hope not to fall foul of that curb. And he has not fallen foul of that curb this lap. Oh, there are multiple laps to fall foul of that curb in the race. With the pit window open, Bingus Longus gets past Gary Rowe. Down the gears through Stowe. He's also going to get past Garald, who's gone off track. Gary Rowe will get past him, but I don't believe that's for position. In fact, as Kai Sforza and Gunkel have yet to pit in. Nicholas Van Joe has also pitted in, so I believe that is every car that needs to pitted in at this point, apart from the two up front. Who have yet to pit, but as things go, Bingus McBongus is in the lead of GT3 as he parts the sea there up the inside of James Andrews, but that's opened up Luana Santos as well, maybe into a battle with the Wins JT Racing GT4 Audi. Audi Aston Martin, this is an Aston Martin Husky. Luana Santos tries to drag him to the outside. Will she quickly switch to the inside? No, she won't. She stays behind for now anyway, as James Andrews is nowhere to be seen, and Luana Santos has moved up position. There is James Andrews. I think that might be contact. I think they just managed to get away from it. James Andrews there coming off the track, going back on. Good avoidance from the 7 the 979 BMW to avoid the collision there. Very, very good vision. In fact, that could have been a lot worse had he not have had the vision to avoid it. As we see Hazen running in P20 after his pit stop. He's running all right. This is the car he is chasing down. Aaron in the 44 Balfi Motorsport McLaren 720S, having just got past Langvin before we checked in with him. And Robin Moe up the inside of, I think that's Rubicon. But he's got Denny Zenon right, breathing down the rear end of the car. But down the inside on James Andrews, very late, very, very late, but it's Stark. And Denny Zenon has also opened that, has also gone through that open door as well. 23 minutes just over left on today's race. Robin Moe up the inside, gets past Luana Santos as well as too does Denny Zenon. He goes to the inside. Denny Zenon will be a little bit out of shape into Brooklands. Can he make it into an advantage zone? No, not quite. We do move on. Oh, this battle is starting to look very, very, very tasty. Your current race leader, Bingus McBongus, 9 seconds clear between himself and Ed Costetta. Gunkel has finally come into the pit lane with 22.5 minutes left on the clock. One of the latest runs we have ever seen in the RP series. As a bit further back, we see Thomas Jack scrapping tooth and nail with Justin Gottlieb. Lexus versus Jaguar. Kai Swartzer in the mix as well for good measure, as down the inside tries Gottlieb at the first corner. He's going to make that stick. Thomas Jack can't really do much about it. He now just has to set up and try and get the best run through Maggots and Beckett's that he possibly can in that Jaguar. You see, curb. Here is Will Saunders. He is chasing his way as we get driver's eye camera. A bit further back, in fact, we still have Thomas Jack right under pressure from Kai Sforza. Gottlieb has accelerated away up the way, and Kai Sforza is going to try down the inside at the chicane. The door's closing very rapidly. Thomas Jack, oh, will hold the inside through the second part. Very, very good defense from our resident driver as Kyle Cook is round. Is it that curb? He's coming through Maggots and through Beckett's. And that curb takes another name in today's race. That curb. And we have another yellow flag. Is it Jürgen Zuseisen? Has he taken out that curb as well? It is through Maggots and Beckett's. Here we go. Let's have a look. The McLaren, the number 12 car, through the first part. Through the second part, it's not that curb that's done it, but he hasn't hit it well enough, and the rear of the car has just lifted out because of it. That curb strikes again. That curb. I'm also really happy, and amongst all of that, the Autocam decided not to take me away from the action. As Frederick Schoblum right under pressure from Daniel Fox. Gets up the inside. Oh, that could have been very close as they go through the loop. Now for Aintree. Schoblum is out ahead of the McLaren, and there is the lead of GT4 as well. Lee Taylor in the Alpine Now Daniel Fox, Shoblum is defending the inside, goes back to the outside. Daniel Fox tries it down the inside, maybe. Shoblum's gone very, very deep to get the overspeed, but Daniel Fox has made the move. Has he? No, not quite. Yes, he has. What a move there for the McLaren. The deep cuts gets moved over by Jay Kenny in the GT3, as now Denny Zenon right up the rear end of Robin Moe, who goes very, very defensive, dragging that Audi all the way out to the curb. That is defense at its finest. He has dragged him out all the way to the curb there and just didn't leave him anywhere to go. Now the Audi right down on the rear end. The Audi has power. Robin Moe looks to defend the inside. That is a smart move. The Audi on the brakes, the Honda on the brakes as well. This is for P4 in class. As there is Gerald, who very graciously gets out the way. It's always good to see it's not a requirement. You just have to hold your line and be predictable, but it is always, I guess, a sigh of relief for the drivers when they see a car that they're about to lap getting out of the way, as you can just see how much acceleration that Audi grabs. Wow. As we go through Maggots and Beckett's for another time, 18 minutes and change left in today's race. At that curb, they've both cleared it. They've both done it, mate. Now through the final part of Maggots and Beckett's. Now through Chapel onto the rear, the hanger straight once more. The Honda breaking the toe already on the Audi, but the Audi is unfair in a straight line. He then goes to the inside. Zenon tries the outside now. Could he get the overspeed through the corner to have a go down the inside at the club chicane? No, he can't. The Audi gets very twitchy there off track, but he comes back on without any problem. There is a yellow flag for Gottlieb. I think it might be that curb again. We'll have a look as we head through. Yep, he's not taken that curb enough, and that has just lifted the rear end of the car. There is another one for that curb. Another name to add to the list, as Rene Battenberg is right on the back of Tanner. Doesn't quite make that move stick just yet, however. I'm just looking around. Here is the battle that does not seem to want to die down. Denny Zenon on the back of Robin Moe. These two have been racing tooth and nail, as you can see. Nicholas Van Joe go off there down the inside, as Kenny has been overtaken by deep cuts. I think that might have been a that curb situation. But this is the battle we're with at the minute. We're on board with Denny Zenon, the 953 Audi. He tries to peer the door open, but doesn't think to go through with it, which might have been a smart idea, as now he's going to get the exit right on the rear bumper there of the Honda, which I don't really think it has a rear bumper. It's just sort of the rear end. Oh, very loose. You could see the rear end just slipping in the Honda, but Robin Moe has used it to gain a bit of time, but oh, maybe a bit wide of the apex there through the final part of Maggots and Beckett's. Now through Chapel. Now let's see how quick the Audi catches up. He already looks to the inside. Is Robin Moe going to cover it off? No, but the Audi pulls back to the regular racing line. There is a Langvin up ahead as well as they hit the apex, unfurl the wheel, down the hill once more. There is a Langvin to the inside, goes Robin Moe. Oh, Zenon has just been stuck behind the GT4 BMW. That is not going to be what he would have wanted to see, because he can just see ahead of him out of the window. He can see Robin Moe disappearing off into the distance. The gap is now 1.2 seconds between the two drivers. However, maybe Robin Moe could have a bit of strife with this GT4 Porsche. No, he can't, as down the inside of the GT4 goes Denny Zenon. The Porsche there also making a bit of an avoiding action. You can just see him jolt the wheel away and go, no, I'm not doing that. And now that gap is back to 0.7. These two have been fighting absolutely hammer and tong. Also on the rear wing of the AlphaTauri, very good, very well put together DRS Honda. Just see that Audi getting increasingly closer. Closer and closer and closer and further ahead as well. Ed Costetter has dropped that 9-second gap to a 5-second gap. Wow, there has been a lot of fighting in this race so far, and I'm sure even more fighting will occur as time goes on. That this battle does not look like it wants to saddle itself down. And I couldn't blame him. It must be a very, very fun battle from in the car. I'm not sure how it must be for Robin Moe, who is on the defense everywhere. Literally is having to defend pretty much everywhere on the track thus far. And with 13.5 minutes left, we've got another yellow flag. Could it possibly be that curb? No, it's not. It's a loop. He's just punched the throttle and the car's just gone. No. That would have been what that was. As a bit further up, we see Rene Battenberg chasing on Tenner's Audi, the overall in sim racing Audi. Battenberg is having to stay behind for just a little bit longer. So I just had to press the transition button again because I was scared I was using the wrong transition. Which would have been not very professional in my personal opinion, in my personal stream. As we see now, Denny Zenon, this is the closest he's been through Maggots and Begets to Robin Moe. Robin Moe will now have the problem of the inside through the first bit, inside through the second bit. They have dropped back together to survive through Maggots and Beckett's. But they are closing together and they are going apart. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Oh dear, I do apologize. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that at all. Thank you. But we are still seeing these two drivers fighting tooth and nail together as we head through. No, you didn't, Liam. You saw nothing. Denny Zenon right on the rear end of Robin Moe. These two, they have not been further than 1.5 seconds ahead of, like, between each other. Even when they were fighting GT4s through the pack, they were keeping this battle going. And this is for P4. Bit further back, Tenner has lost out the position to Rene Battenberg. And I think that Honda will just accelerate up the way. But now the Audi, does he try down the inside at Brooklands? No, he does not. That is not what you would have wanted to see. So I'm sure Zenon might be getting a bit frustrated in the Audi in the background. Robin Moe taking the curve. Denny Zenon might be just trying to go wide to get extra bits of speed to turn one on the brakes. How much does the Audi close up? Off the throttle, on the throttle. You can hear it on the curb. So they are still absolutely nose to tail as they head onto the hangar straight once more. Now Zenon goes to the outside. Moe's defended the inside every time and it has worked Zenon might have the overspeed here just to try and make something happen. Let's have a look. They are going to be side by side. Oh, Mo gives a little bit of a shoulder, but maybe this is where the move happens. Down the inside. No, it's not. Mo will get the inside through the second part of the club chicane, not club hairpin. What am I on about? And now there's a GT4 Spacey Racy, I think that is, in amongst it as well. As Denny Zenon has to stay in P4 for yet another corner. I honestly thought that move was on and that move would have been done. But no, it has not, and it will not be done now. Robin Mo. Oh, they're going to have the lead of GT4 in amongst it. This could be detrimental to the win of GT4. But it looks like they're both going to get through safely past the GT4 Alpine of Lee Taylor. Get a yellow flag for Gary Rowe. He's pulled off the track at the chicane. I'm not sure what's happened there. He had graphics card problems earlier on. And I think that might still be what has happened to him, as Robin Mo holds the inside through Luffield. And Denny Zenon, while he got the inside through Brooklands, he had to be stuck around the outside at Luffield. Now, down towards turn one, Mo will have the inside. Could this possibly be in for a cutback? No, it's not. Denny Zenon just has to go to the outside line once again. This has been so close between everybody. And with 8 minutes left to go, Gary Rowe still to the side of the circuit at the chicane, I do believe. Now Denny Zenon will have the outside once more. Could he possibly try to cut back? No, but Mo gets very loose there, actually. It doesn't seem to cost him much speed whatsoever. But now we'll have a look down the inside, maybe for Zenon. No, he actually had to straighten out the steering so he wouldn't collect the rear end. There's an update from Gary Rowe. He has run out of fuel. That must be absolutely painful for him. I've had it happen before. It is one of the worst feelings, as Kai Sforza is still trying to get past the immovable object that is the Jaguar of Thomas Jack. And a little bit further back, Ian Arnold is chasing down Jen Tenner, who goes up the inside of Langvin at turn one. Ian Arnold looks like he'll try around the outside there, actually. Maybe down the inside. No, he's going to be stuck behind that BMW for a little while longer. And further up once again, Denny Zenon on Robin Mo. So we get a no, and yet here it is, the battle for the lead. It's on, it's real. It is Ed Costetta versus Bingus Bongus for the lead of the race. That sort of appeared. It gap went from about 1.1 seconds on my dash, and then it immediately dropped down to about a tenth, and now it's back to 1.3. Ha! As Ed Costetta 9/10 off of himself, and Bingus McBongus for the win of the race. Bingus McBongus has been fighting for a win this season, and it could come, but he's got to last 5.5 minutes, maybe plus 1 lap, depending on when the timer goes to 0. GT racing, remember, the race is not over until the race leader has gone over the start-finish line with the timer at 0 seconds. If the race leader goes across the line and the timer is 1 second, you're doing another lap. This has caught drivers out in the past. A driver has gone across the line. They've budgeted for 1 lap too few, and they've fallen foul. But Ed Costetta, he has got an absolute mountain to climb. Bingus McBongus has an absolute mountain to defend. as it has all been boiling down to this. The Bonga Speedworks number 8 Lamborghini versus the 949 Ferrari as he makes a mistake through turn 1. You could hear the traction control cut in massively as we are on board with Ed Castello. You can see there is Gary Rowe up ahead. Now in the draft, the Lamborghini has very, very good top-end speed, but maybe in the corners is where the Ferrari can shine. Down the brakes, Ed Castello tries to hug that curb a lot more by the seams of it. Now towards the chicane, Ed Castello looking to the inside, doesn't go for it though. I think he was a bit too far back. Ed Castello always very, very cautious with his moves, which is not a bad thing. Because when he makes them stick, he makes sure they stick. With just under 4 minutes of today's race, the gap 3/10 between first and second, which has in fact doubled through F1 turn 1. It's now sitting at about 8/10 between the two drivers. Bingus and Bongus will be wanting to ensure that he holds that gap as best he can, because, you know, 3 minutes just over of defending from Ed Castello is a very, very hard task. I'm sure Bingus and Bongus will be testament to the fact that it is a very hard task to defend from Ed Castello, whose best lap is 158.3. To put that in perspective, Bingus and Bongus' best this race has been a 159.1, and as they come across the line, the lap times are going to come in. Bingus and Bongus having to go a long way around at turn 1, 2:02. Bingus and Bongus 2:05 for Ed Castello, who gets stuck behind the Porsche through the first corner. Gets past him though before Maggots and Begets goes over the track and goes back. That has really hurt the gap. 1.7 seconds now between the Ferrari and the Lamborghini. This time of asking with 2 minutes left, we'll have this lap plus 1, I believe, will be the long and short of it. As let's check in with the GT4s. James Andrews right on the attack of Luana Santos into Maggots and Beckett's. These two have been having a good fight in GT4 as Robin Moe goes around the outside at Beckett's and then up the inside once again. Gets past, as too does Danny Zenon. He'll have the outside through Chapel. That'll be those moves done. There is Shopper there in the background as James Andrews tries to grab as much draft. Shopper looks to the inside at Stowe, but thinks better of it. He's trying to pry the door open there against James Andrews, but it's not quite to be, as it's his Porsche versus Aston Martin. They have to both go tight into the corner through the club chicane. James Andrews tries up the inside, almost contact. Gets that car stopped in time. That was very, very quick reactions on the brake pedal from James Andrews. As down the brakes we go. Denny Zenon, he has been chasing Robin Moe for the entire race, and you can see he's getting a bit scrappy now on the Red Bull Motorsport Honda. There's a yellow flag for Kai Sports, so that's not at that curve, so we won't have a look at it. That was at F1 turn 1, as here once again the battle for the lead has come back. It is now 4/10, as this will be the final lap. Ed Castello has the time. He has the rest of this lap to make his move. Bingus Bongus is trying to break the toe of the Ferrari as much as possible. He tries to drag him inside. Bingus Bongus, though, wise to it, defends the middle instead, so he could react to the inside if he had to. But Ed Castello is right up his bumper. 1/10. Ed goes to the outside on the brakes. Now Ed could get ahead if he grabs the inside through the second part. which he does. No, he does not. Yes, he does. No. Bingus Mabongus grabs the outside and grabs it through. Club onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. The gap is now 2/10. Ed Costella is running out of circuit to make the move. But let's have a look down on the brakes. We'll have a look through the F1 turn, like 2, 3, 4, 5. Now through the loop. They are so close between themselves. 3/10 as we head onto the Brooklands. This is where the Lamborghini is strong. It is in a straight line that the Lamborghini is strong. Ed Costella looking to the inside. Is he going to go for a late move on the brakes? No, he's not. So I think we will see as we come through the final corner. They are nose to tail. Anything could happen. But as we come through Woodcote for the final time to take the win here at Silverstone, Bingus McBongus in the Lamborghini, followed a 10th by Ed Costetta. What a run! What a run as we see Justin Gottlieb having a bit of strife there. Wow. Oh man, as Bingus McBongus is having a bit of a drift. Oh man. Wow. So we are calling in for interviews. What a race that was today. What a race. So we are going to transition over. To the intermission screen, because I haven't actually got one for the thing. So your provisional results will just come in a moment. So actually, let's jump back over to the live camera. So here are your results. Bingus McBongus came through to take the victory, followed by Ed Costetta, Saunders in third, Zenon in fourth, fifth was Mo, sixth was Jack, seventh was Battenberg, eighth was Cook, ninth was Tenner. I'm doing it in class order. In silver class, Toby Long came through to take the victory, getting a P7 overall, followed by Sforza in second, Arnold in third, Shoblem in fourth, and that is the rest of... and Gary Rowe in fifth. Then in bronze, Shopper come through to take the win, followed by Gottlieb, Delisle, Gunkel, Aaron, Fox, Mueller, Garald, Nicholas Van Gelwu. And then in GT4, Taylor came through to take the victory, followed by Heim, Langvin, Hatcher, Reigns, Boltz, Rochlau, Axman, Santos, Hoover, Rubicon, Andrews, Deep Cuts, and Ketten on that. So we will we'll grab in Thomas Jack first, because I've got a few questions to ask him. Hello, Tom.
How are you doing?
So I wanted to talk to you because you are doing guest driving for the rest of the season. Am I right?
Yeah.
And what is your concept for guest driving? Just talk us through it.
What do you mean? What's my plan, you mean?
Yes.
I'm just going through all the meme cars, I guess. I got the Jag for Silverstone. I'm gonna do the V12 for Bathurst. Probably the Rex after that, and then I don't know what I'll do for the last one.
And on the Jaguar, it's a car that you never see in ACC nowadays. I think you driving it here was the first time I've ever actually seen it. How is it as a car?
Terrible. You know how you want cars to turn?
Yes.
This is a joke Cookie did, or someone did. Well, it doesn't. But it actually felt quite nice when the tire. Surprisingly, the rear tires went very quickly, and once the tires were gone, it actually felt kind of good. Slow, but decent.
And after, I'm sure you'll be thinking, P10. Very rare to see you that far down the grid. How is how are you feeling with that result?
I'm happy. I enjoyed. I had some good racing. I had a few crashes in there, which kind of sucked, but it was, fun, I guess.
And the final question then for you: has this experiment made you into a Jaguar driver, or will it be the Macca when you're back fully?
Not. You're never seeing this car again, unless someone forces me.
Anyone say Jaguar only league?
No. I don't think anyone wants that.
Oh man. Anyway, thank you for coming and speaking to me, Tom. We'll see how the V12 Aston goes in 2 weeks' time. We'll see.
Probably good because it's a strong car for that track.
Got V12.
Exactly.
Well done on the P10. I will speak to you later, mate. In a bit.
Thank you. See ya.
So that was Thomas Jack, who came through to take 10th position. Now, we're going to get them both in, because I'd like to speak to them both at the same time. Firstly, Muscle, congratulations on the race win. Such a tiny gap between yourself and Ed. Talk me through it.
So, I'm actually not sure what happened to Ed at the beginning of it. I just saw they drop back a couple places. So I was fighting with Mo for a little while. But then I saw him coming back through the pack, and he was gaining on me at an alarming pace. So it was just trying not to completely blow up my tires, which ended up happening anyway. But and then like the last 10 minutes was just hang on for your dear life.
And Ed, on to you. You had a bit of a turbulent start, but right up the back of Muscle at the end of the race. Were you thinking one more lap and you would have got him?
First off, congrats to Muscle there. He drove really good race. Yeah, I ended up just getting swallowed up on the start. I just didn't get a good start, and got racing a few people and just lost a bit of time. But I don't know if it would have been one more lap. It's one thing to catch somebody. It's another thing to pass them. And he drove super solid. So I don't know. The endurance race, I was took me like 30 minutes to pass somebody for the lead. So it would have had to be much longer, I feel like, before I would have been able to get around him.
I'm not sure about that. I was starting to crash, especially in that last lap. Like, I wouldn't be able to put up with that for more than a lap or two. But
and the one thing I wanted to ask, actually, Muscle, you came into the race. You took pole in the provisional until it got immediately taken away from you. What was your plan for the race? Because Lamborghini is all straight line, or does it actually corner nowadays?
it's got a lot of high-speed aero. It's really good in high-speed turns. It's got a lot of grip that way. The way that I had set this up, it was not great in the slow corners. It's very hard suspension. And I had my rear wing all the way up, so it wasn't really a missile in the straight line either. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not, it's no V12 or anything like that. But yeah, it's like Silverstone because of all the high speed turns until about maybe 15 minutes into the stint where your tires decide that they're done. But yeah, it's the high speed turns.
Well, a good congratulations to both of you. I didn't know how to call it, and the gap was 1/10 between you two.
Honestly, had I been watching it, from a distance, I wouldn't have been sure until after the last corner. It was very, very close, and like I said, I don't think I would have been able to hang on for more than another couple laps.
Well, congratulations to both of you on P1 and P2. Hopefully, Ed, we may see you next race or later in the season. Fingers crossed.
Oh, I hope so. I'm trying to join when I can with the kids and all. So a pretty good chance at least one or two more times.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you two go. Congratulations on the win and P2. Who knows, Muscle? Next time you might win another one. Who knows?
I hope so. The next race is at my favorite track and it's on my birthday. So I'm hoping for another win.
Hopefully then. Anyway, congratulations, you two. I will speak to you in a bit. Goodbye.
Thanks, Husky.
And last but not least, to come through and take the win off GT4, it's Mr. Lee Taylor, who looked absolutely dominant in that Alpine today.
Hello. Nice to hear from you again.
Hello again. That Alpine. What are you doing to it? It seems so well set up everywhere.
And that just suits me, I guess. Yeah, it felt good. I mean, it felt good in practice, and then the race didn't feel quite as grippy, but yeah, it's still done all right.
And I'm sure some people are going to ask about this, unless I'm reading it wrong. There was a 46-second gap between yourself and Heim in P2. How does that happen?
So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I was lucky. I was really lucky because a lot of the back markers not back markers, but the backfield of the GT3s all anchored up, and I went ploughing straight into the back of them. So I was lucky not to get too much damage. But I had the damage warning come on, but yeah, it didn't really do too much. Slowed the car down a little bit. I was like a few tenths off my regular pace, but it's still good enough.
And the Alpine is tiny. I do love seeing it, especially with another car. It's so small. What was your plan for the race? Because clearly something went right for you today.
Same as my plan for every race with the Alpine. You just got to get it on pole and run away. Otherwise, you're stuck behind someone for ages because it's got no straight line speed. So you have to get in front and run away. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard race.
And looking forward to the next race, actually. Bathurst. Have you driven it in the Alpine? And if so, how is it?
No, I've never driven it in the Alpine, and it's probably going to be terrible.
Great.
The Mercs are going to be very good at Bathurst, and I'd be happy with a podium on that race.
And my final question for you. You are, if I do my math right, before this race, you were 9 points ahead of Langvin. What do you think? Can you take the rest of the season on and come through to take the GT4 title?
Well, on the way things are going, I've got to say yes. You know, I mean, there's a couple of races like Bathurst I'm a bit sceptical about, and just surviving Laguna Seca is going to be a mission on its own. So yeah, there's plenty of time left yet. I could have 3 non-finishes. You just don't know, do you?
That's very true. Anyway, thank you for going and speaking to me, Lee. Congratulations on the race win. Bathurst, who knows? We'll have to see when we get there.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks very much.
In a bit, mate. And that was Lee Taylor, who came to take the win of GT4 in today's race. But that now brings us to the final point of the stream. That has been round 3 at Silverstone. An absolutely insane amount of action up and down the grid for us to witness today. In 2 weeks, on the 17th of July, we will be heading over to Oceania for Bathurst. That will be a very, very hard test for the drivers. They will have trials and tribulations around the mountain. But until next time, I've been Husky. From me and everyone at Racing Pals, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.